Alright, today what we're going to do is we're going to look at 10-3 notes. We've been graphing quadratic equations for quite a while when we've been talking about the different steps to take it. And a lot of you are like, what's the purpose? Like, why am I graphing this stuff? I don't understand why. Well, today what we're going to do is we're going to graph them, which is 10A, but we're also going to take a look at 10B, where we're going to be solving them by graphing. So we're going to take that one extra step. Right, so first of all, when we look at this, it says solve the equation by graphing, and they gave me an equation. Step one is write the equation in standard form. Is that equation in standard form? No. It is not. And remember, what we want to do is we want the equation in y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And the a term must be positive. So ax squared plus bx plus c, I like that a term to be positive, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, I'm going to write it down below. And it's not in standard form because not everything is over to one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all add my x squared to both sides, because that's going to make that a term positive. And then I'm going to subtract my 2x. And you'll see now that it's in standard form. So I added my x squared term to get my a positive, and then I subtracted 2x from each side to get in standard form. Now, you're going to notice that I have an x there, a 0 there. Technically, that 0, I could put a y in for it, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But the 0 I'm going to be taking out in just a few minutes. I'm going to be putting a y in there. So now I have that function, and I need to graph it. So what do I do first? That's right. I need to find that vertex. I'm not going to plug it right away into the an H table. I need to pull some stuff up. So what's my A in that equation? 1. What's my B? What's my C? That's correct. Very good. Okay. Right, and I'm going to find my vertex. So I gave you that fancy formula, x equals negative b over 2a, and I want you to write that down every single time you find it, and the reason why is it's really important. It's something that you're going to need to know. Go? Okay, so I've got negative, and I'm going to put in a negative 2 over 2 times 1. I'm going to chop, so I get 2 over 2, which is 1. Okay, so x equals 1. Am I done? Now I'm going to find my y, so that equation that I have up above, I'm going to bring that down below. I'm going to take out the 0, and I'm going to go y equals x squared minus 2x minus 8. And again, that's from up there. And I'm going to take out my x, and I'm going to put in 1, because that is the x of the vertex. Have you done this before? Yeah. That was the homework from Thursday and Friday of last week. And if you've been doing what you should be doing, this is kind of fun in a weird sort of way, right? Okay. So what did I just find? I found the x and y of the vertex. So the vertex then is 1 comma negative 9 Okay, and my axis of symmetry is what? X equals 1. Excellent. Yep. It's not just 1. It's x equals 1. Make sure that you write that in correctly. Because it's a line. It's a vertical line. Okay, now what? Everybody done? Now I got an H table, yep. So I'm going to take all that work that I did, and I'm going to make an H table. Okay, and I'm going to put, what is my first, I'm going to put in my vertex. And I don't notice I don't need to put in all that funky work. I did it already. I don't need to put anything in. But do label it a vertex because it does make it easier for you. Alright? Now what values do I plug in? 1 less and 1 bigger than 1. Okay, so what's 1 smaller? 0. 0. Okay? And we're going to be doing order of operations, something we've done a lot of. So I did one value that was larger than 1. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 smaller than 1, right? And I need to do one that's 1 larger, and that would be 2. Yeah, so I'm going to plug 2 in also. Yeah, like awesome, right? Because those two, they match. That's an awesome thing. Happy, 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 right? Do the happy dance. If they don't match, what? You did something wrong. And I had a student come in this morning and they're like, Mrs. Medic, I don't know what I did wrong. They don't match. Well, thank goodness they stopped. Okay, there's no sense in going in and doing all this work if you've done it wrong. Okay?
That was me.
All right. So now I'm going to do what? I'm going to graph it. Now be careful when you graph this, okay? You're going to see why in just a minute. Don't start drawing a bunch of lines and yeehaw, okay? So I'm going to go down. -1, 9. Right there, right? Okay, and then the other one is 0, 8, right? No. Sorry, 1 -9. My bad. One -9. 0, -8. 2, -8. Okay? Now, I'm not going to label, this is my vertex. I'm not going to do that. I am going to draw in my vertex, though, and remember that's a dotted line. Okay? And I'm not going to draw anything in because we said we were going to solve this parabola. Okay? And right now, I've got the vertex, and I got 2 order pairs on either side of that vertex.
Did you just die?
Step 3 says name the solutions, and this is where the parabola parabola crosses the x-axis? Okay, do I know where the parabola crosses the x-axis?
It doesn't.
Well, right
Well,
now,
actually,
it doesn't.
Wait. Actually, in my example, like the little dot.
The dotted line. Okay, so it's opening up, and I know it's going to cross the x-axis, but do I know exactly where it crosses the x-axis?
No.
I do not. I can't even guess. I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back up to this table, and we're going to extend it. We're going to make it longer, and we're going to add another value. And what I need is I need the x or the y value to be 0, because this is where the solution is. So now it's kind of a guess game. What do I plug in for x to get 0 for y? 0. No, not 0.
Positive.
Well, this is where you start guessing, and I'm going to tell you right now it's 4. And I know it just because, you know, I've got numbers, okay? So y equals 4 squared minus 2 times 4 minus 8. And you work this through. And you'll notice that I get, that's what you want. Now some kids are like, well, how did you know it was 4? I've just done it enough, I know it's 4. So if you can't see it, it's okay. You just keep trying numbers until you know it's going to get 0. Okay? So then this is what you do. You know it's 4, 0. So this is why you have to be really accurate with your graphing. Okay? So this is where it crosses the x-axis, yes? Now, take a look at the line of symmetry, the axis of symmetry. See that little green line? How far is the blue dot from the green line? How many spaces? 3, right?
Yes.
Take a close look at it. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to go 3 the other way. 1, 2, 3. That's what the axis of symmetry does for you. Because I know it's 1, 2, 3 away, I go 1, 2, 3, the opposite direction, and I know that that's the other solution. Okay. Now, what I can do is I can draw my parabola. And notice that it's U-shaped. Notice I have arrows on them. U-shape, it's got arrows on it. Now I'm going to come down and I'm going to answer the question because it asks me, name the solutions. Now, the solutions are where it crosses the x-axis. So what is one of the solutions? 4, 0. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write 4, 0. And what's the other one? Negative 2, 0. And if you wanted to, you could put negative 2 into your table and double check. You do not have to, but you could. Especially if it's an ACT and you got time, I would. Especially if you have time. But you don't have to. And this is how you name them with ordered pairs. Now in your book, it's going to label it like this. I don't like that. Why wouldn't Mrs. Medvick like this? It looks like an ordered pair. It looks like an ordered pair, and so kids will say, oh, the solution is 4, negative 2. And it's not. There are 2 solutions to this. This is 4, 0, and negative 2, 0. And I keep them as ordered pairs. It makes more sense. Questions? Okay, let's go on to the next problem. Okay, and you'll see how fast this really goes. What's the first thing that I need to do? Standard form. Is it in standard form?
Nope.
No. So I'm just going to write down for notes standard form. How do I get this in standard form? Subtract 2x. So x squared minus 2x plus 8 equals 0. I want my a term to be positive. 3 okay? Questions? Okay, now, what do I do? Graph the function. Okay, so a is,
1,
b is,
-2,
c is,
3,
find the vertex. X equals negative b over 2a. X equals negative 2 over 2 times 1. Negative 2 over 2, which is 1. And believe it or not, once you get going on this, it actually becomes kind of fun. Because you know what you're doing, and it's a good feeling to be able to do these more difficult problems, and it works for you. Okay? So now I'm done with that. What do I do next? I need to find y, and what do I do to find y? What do I do?
Take the standard form and then bring it down and put in the 1.
Yes, I'm going to bring that down, and rather than that 0, I'm going to put in y. So y equals x squared minus 2x plus 8, and I'm going to plug in 1. This is another problem. It looks like the other one though. It's similar, but it's not. So what did I just find?
Vertex.
The vertex. The y of the vertex. So the vertex is 1, 7. And the axis of symmetry is x equals 1, not just 1. Because it is 1. Okay. Okay, so I have my axis of symmetry. I have my vertex. Okay, now what? Okay, I need my H table. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to come up with my H table. What values do I put in? One smaller and one bigger than 1. So one smaller, 0. It doesn't matter which one you put in first. And then one bigger is 2. Okay, and then if you're done with the work, what do you do next? it and see what kind of solution you got. Yep. Show all your work and all your steps. If you don't show all your work and all your steps in your notes and your homework, what's going to happen on the test? You won't do it. Are you kidding me? No, you won't do it. You won't remember to do it. Okay. I'm going to go now and I'm going to graph it. So I've got 1, 7, 1, 7. Here we go. And then I'm going to do my axis of symmetry. This is what I did before. Okay, and then my other ordered pair I got was 2, 8, 0, 8. Okay, and what do I plug in next?
0.
I did plug in 0. Okay, now my question is this. If I draw my parabola, will it cross the x-axis?
No.
Ever?
No.
It will never cross the x-axis.
No, don't do that.
So how many solutions do I got there? None. This is a no solution parabola. Remember linear, we had one solution, no solution, and many solutions? Okay, we're getting into that now with parabolas. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to graph my parabola, make sure it's U-shaped. Okay, and then I am going to label this as a no solution because I don't care how many points I put into this, it will never cross the x-axis, ever. Okay, so that brings us down now to the next slide that we have, and it says, what are the different solutions you can come up with? Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Okay, first of all, when we did this, we had 2 solutions. And when I looked at a graph, I'll give you a picture, because pictures are always worth 1,000 words, right? It didn't matter if it opened up or it opened down. It crossed the x-axis in 2 spots. Okay? And that's why it was a 2 solutions. Okay? Now, I just got done with one, with a second type of problem, and that was no solution. Look at this. I've got 2 graphs. And it can open up, or it can open down. And it will never cross the x-axis. Even if I add numbers to my table, there is no way it's going to cross the x-axis. So that's why it's a no solution. Now, I have one other type of graph for parabolas. I might put that picture would help. I got a 2 solution, I got a no solution. What could be my other option? Could I have a many solution? Yeah, I did for the line, but would I for this? No, because my parabola is U-shaped. That's a good guess, because that is something we had for linear. But that parabola, if it had many solutions, would actually have to be a line, and it's not a line, it's a U-shaped graph. So it's going to be a 1 solution. And what's going to happen for it to be a 1 solution? What's going to cross the x-axis on the parabola? The the vertex. Yep, absolutely. So the third type that you're going to have is going to be a one solution. And it's going to look like this. And again, draw a picture. It makes so much more sense when you draw a picture. So that parabola is going to cross the x-axis, and it's going to be the vertex that's on it. And the parabola can open up or it can open down. And those are the two places. Questions? Okay, let's go to the last slide. And it talks about, there's a page in your book, and I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. It says, discuss the relationship between the solutions of an equation, the x-intercepts of a graph, and the zeros of a function. Okay, so I'm going to get that up for us. Right here. Okay. Now, take a look at that parabola for just a minute. Where does it cross the x-axis? 2 and 6. 2 and 6. Okay, now let's take a look at it. First of all, it says the solutions of an equation are the solutions of the equation where it's 2 and 6. So the solutions are 2 and 6. Makes sense. Okay. The x-intercepts of the graph occur where y equals 0. So the x-intercepts are 2 and 6. Okay, the zeros of a function. The zeros of that function are the values for which x are. So the answer is 2 and 6. So this is what it means. A lot of times when you take an ACT or an NWEA, it's not that you don't know how to do the problem. You don't know what they're asking for. Once you know what they're asking for, you could do the problem and do it well. So when they ask you for the solutions or the x-intercepts or the zeros of a function, they're asking for the same thing. It's 3 different ways of asking for the same thing, and that's where that graph crosses the x-axis. Okay? So if we go back to our notes, okay, I've got the solutions, I got the x-intercepts, and I got zeros. These are where the parabola crosses the x-axis. They mean the same thing. Essentially, they're all the same thing. It's where they cross the x-axis. Okay? And again, I tend to like them as an ordered pair, where you've got the 0 for the y. So in that particular case, it'd be 6, 0, and it'd be 2, 0. Are there any questions? Okay. That is all the notes we have for you today. Make sure that you ask me if you have any questions.